so just in deep gratitude for each and every one of you being here in person and on Zoom land, etc. I truly feel and believe and know we have the best group of world-class agents in all of California and all the states. Right? We are truly a family with one another, and I'm just like in deep gratitude about that. So thank you, thank you. So this is our hot Thanksgiving potluck. That's so funny. Doug, why don't you just come in here? I had to give a shit. Okay. All right, so let's see. Susie.
Yes.
You want to share with us our motivational minute?
Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is a foundation for all abundance. Appreciative.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Just being grateful, right? Right. It's always about being in the moment. We talk about that all the time. And if we're just in deep gratitude and acknowledging the awesomeness and the amazingness that we have in our life at this very moment, then that's where abundance all comes from.
Every morning I wake up, I say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, that's all we need.
Yep. Yep, for sure. I know I do the same thing where I just think, hey, thank you for letting me wake up another day. Right? So it's
I appreciate the small things in life, not expect more, not be greedy, not expect more and more and more, and God will just bring it back. It's a circle of karma, circle of life.
Yeah, for sure. So we always be, hey, pretty, how are you? So we always be appreciative of, when you come up, when you come into let's say, do you guys ever find a penny, pick it up, the rest of the day, have a good life?
Yeah, I do. I did it yesterday.
Yeah.
I did it yesterday. I kind of felt like silly, but I did it.
Yeah, so you picked up, so you have to show that the same amount of gratitude for a penny as you do for $1 million or $1,000 or whatever. So you show gratitude for no matter the amount of money that comes your way, because then that continues to increase for the abundance. So thank you, Susie. Does anybody else want to add on to that? Nope. Okay. All right. So I put his picture here, broker moment, President Pisani. He is not with us today. But I just wanted to let you know where he's at. He is dealing with with NAR. So you know what that means at our next team meeting, right? That we are going to have. I don't know. He last minute, so I didn't ask him. Could be. I mean, I would assume so. Yeah, because I didn't ask him exactly where he was going, but he said I'm leaving today for NAR. And I'm like, oh wow, that's gonna be fun. So he will come back with a lot of great information. So it's our job, right, to keep you guys, because there's so much stuff that's going around, and people have opinions, people have the facts, so on and so forth. Sometimes you don't know exactly, but however we want to be prepared. So with when Rich comes back on our next team meeting, then we will have him obviously as our special guest and have him share everything with us, so we can just be the best we can be. All right, so I want to thank very much. Where's Jose? Right. Oh, there you are. Jose Lopez with Elite Credit Group. He does credit repair and helping. And because remember, it's always a journey, right? What we have with our clients, right? So some are ready to go right now. Some need a little bit of help, a little bit of coddling, whatever the case may be, or just plain educated. So I want to thank Jose so much for sponsoring today's team meeting. And he is the one responsible for free headshot day today. Yeah. So thank you so much. So you can come on down and share a little bit about yourself, but really grateful to have met you, and
Perfect.
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
I think I need some coffee in their system. Good morning, everyone. All right. All right. I see that turkey especially. Yeah, I know we have quite a few realtors, any lenders here. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Now, really quick show of hands. Who here can use an extra 4 to 6 escrows a year? Close.
Oh boy.
I think I should rephrase that because only a couple hands went up. Who here likes money? So my name is Jose Lopez. I'm an account exec manager with Elite Credit Group. We specialize in helping clients with what I personally call challenged credit. I don't think clients have bad credit, nor should you ever tell them they have bad credit. They'll walk away from you physically if they haven't checked out mentally. Now, in the eyes of a lender, most lenders need three things to buy a house. You need CIA, that's credit, income, and assets. And best believe me, the lenders are going to become the CIA. They're going to know everything about that client as possible. Now, I know we're in the month of November, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, but let's take it back a little bit and let's take it to Halloween time. I'm going to tell you guys a spooky story because it's true. I had a client who actually, a realtor reached out to me and he told me the most upsetting news for him. He pre-qualified a client with a lender that he met in January. The client didn't qualify. He got the lead from an open house and the client said, hey, my credit's not the best. What did the realtor do? Like 99% of most agents in the market? Just let me know when your credit's ready, and I'm going to focus on my A and B clients. You're considered a C client because you're not ready yet. He went on Instagram and saw that same client holding a sold sign just last week, and he wasn't the client. He wasn't the realtor representative. He called that client up and said, "Congratulations on buying a house." And the realtor was told, "Thanks. After I sat down with you, I went to another realtor and lender who referred me over to a big credit enhancement company who repaired my credit and I was eligible to buy, so I bought it through them." Now, can you imagine the gut-wrenching feeling it feels in this market to find a lead, bring them in, and them telling you that they trust in you, the purchase of their home, for you to drop the ball and say, "Well, I don't have the resource. Let me know when you're ready." That's equivalent to anyone hunts. Well, you guys hunt for leads, right? That'd be equivalent to finding a deer, you shoot the deer, you bring it to the car, and you leave it in the parking lot and you drive home. You did all the work.
Yeah.
Our goal is to help you minimize that, especially when it comes to the credit part. Now, we help out with everything going in more into the mundane things of credit enhancement. We help out with late payments, charge-offs, collections. We help out with ITIN borrowers. So for those who have came into the country legally and obtained their citizenship, helping establish credit as well, where we could take a client from a 0 credit to 700 plus in under 2 weeks. So if they have no credit whatsoever, we can actually help them boost up their score. Now, I get it. Credit is not the sexiest conversation to have with someone, and that's perfectly fine. I'll light a candle. I'll put on some Marvin Gaye. I'll make credit sexy if I have to. So with that being said, first and foremost, does anyone have any questions regarding credit? And if you have a question, it doesn't mean you have bad credit. It can always be for a friend.
I love the fact that you're very ambitious, and that's what we need.
Well, absolutely. So a little background on myself. I used to be a realtor myself for about 5 or 6 years, and then I worked as a mortgage processor. So I know what realtors go through, and I know what lenders need because I worked as a mortgage processor for a mortgage broker. So I understand that not all credit situations are going to be the same, and just like real estate, not every transaction is going to be the same. I've come across clients where they're in the midst of an escrow, and in the most emotionally hyped up times of their life happens. Sometimes they forget a credit card payment, and next thing you know, their score dips down, and that could potentially kill the deal. So my goal is to help minimize and save as many escrows as possible. So I actually also am an affiliate with you guys as well for MindHD, but I actually service the South Bay area. So this is outside my scope, just so you guys know. So if you guys see me and you guys see, hey, he looks a little familiar, I'm usually in the Keller Williams Ford living down in South Bay, Long Beach area. So it was a nice fun drive up from Long Beach where I live. And so fun drive up the 10, right? Yeah, we're not on the 10. Yes, ma'am.
How do you deal with late pays?
So we have our processing team that they work wonders. I'd love to say I'm a one-man band myself, but I'm not. I have a whole team behind me that works on, obtaining backdoor numbers for that. We've even actually obtained mortgage late as well. So we had a great success story recently where we had a client who just bought their house and the loan got sold over to another lender, which apparently it's pretty common. Obviously, they get sold off back and forth. The client got hit with a mortgage late and he wanted to sell his house. The realtor called me up and said, this guy cannot sell his house due to the mortgage rates it's reporting on his credit. So we were able to go in, find the inaccuracies. We got 2 mortgage rates deleted. The listing agent listed the property, double ended it on the first open house, and helped them buy another house. He got 3 transactions off of what would have been 0 if the client never repaired their credit, or they would have to wait, 12 months or 24 months for mortgage rates in order for them to actually buy, because a lender will not qualify you for a loan if you have multiple mortgage rates within a 12-month, or for jumbo products, some of them are even 24 months. So my goal is to help out with that. And, so we try our best to make sure we find any and all inaccuracies. We try to dispute as many as we can, but we're not perfect. But at least with us compared to other credit repair companies, has anyone ever worked with a credit repair or credit enhancement company before? Hopefully some good news, some okay news, some so-so. So one of the things that we do differently from a lot of companies is the biggest credit repair company there is Lexington Law. They do what I call the gym membership. They keep the client on, charging them $395 a month every single month. It doesn't incentivize a credit repair company to work faster. It actually incentivizes them to work slower so they can bill them an extra. I don't think that's fair, nor is that right. We charge a flat fee depending on the workload that needs to be done. Meaning someone with one collection is going to pay a lot less than someone with 20. Now, the good thing about our company is if we don't render services, if a client is quoted for 10 items and we only perform on 7, they're getting a refund on the 3 we couldn't perform. Because it's only a matter of planting seeds and not burning bridges. And we understand, especially in this industry, you're only as good as your last at bat. If you don't recommend that amazing lender who's going to close the loan, the client's not going to refer you as a realtor business. And the same thing goes vice versa. So we understand. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to get an idea of the average cost.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So our fees start at 500 and up. The more workload needs to be done, obviously the more cost. Your average fee right now is around $895. And it's a flat fee. If they need to break it up into payments, they can. We don't charge interest or anything like that, but we charge a flat fee depending on the workload that needs to be done.
So one-time fee.
One-time fee, yes. And our services are always money back guaranteed, but one of the things that I've made sure that we've done that stands us a little bit differently is we have a big hand on communication. So let's say, for instance, and I'm sorry, your name?
Susie.
So let's say Susie's killing it, right? She has like 5 clients that she sends over that needs help. They're credit challenged. She's going to get a call every couple of weeks from our client relations manager to give her an update. Hey, on Jane Smith, we've removed these 3 items. We're still working on these 2 items. We're working on this, this, and this. So therefore, you're not ever going to be in the dark where you're like, hey, I sent over clients. They're getting work done, but I have no idea what's going on. I feel like I'm being left out in the dark. I don't think that's fair, nor is that right. We even have an online portal, similar to that of what's called Lion's Desk, a CRM that most agents typically use, or it's kind of like Follow Up Boss, where you can actually log in and you can see each one of your clients, what steps have been done, what has been done, and what's being worked on next. So therefore, when you do call that client up, you can call up Jane Smith come Monday morning after you reviewed everything Sunday night. Hey, I see we got 4 out of 5 items removed. Congratulations. I'm now going to put you on the MLS so you can start receiving big profits. Just so you at least, have that knowledge, and it keeps you on top of mind with them as well. I saw you had your hand up, good sir.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing that you keep the agent in tune, because a lot of the times you refer somebody and then.
Ghost, crickets.
So that's one thing. The other one, when you say 95, what does that mean? Usually, as far as the services, and you use rapid rescore, what do you usually do?
So we can work with a lender who, if they have the ability to execute a rapid rescore. So traditional credit repair route, which is very old school, we mail to the 3 bureaus, which, by the way, who can name me all 3 bureaus? Check your credit score. It just jumped up 10 points for getting that right. All right, so
Right.
so if the traditional route is we mail to the 3 credit bureaus, the 3 credit bureaus then mails out to the creditors, the original creditors. They have 15 days to respond back. Then they have to respond back to the credit bureaus. Then the credit bureaus have 15 days to respond back to us. That's what's called a cycle in credit repair. That can take up to 45 days. So a rapid rescore, with what the gentleman was asking, is essentially a lender pushing it to the front line of the 3 bureaus to getting results. Instead of 45 to 90 days, you're getting results in 7 to 10 days. So we actually do have the ability to help out a lender if they can do the rapid rescore, because we don't execute a rapid rescore on it because they don't use our credit reports. They use the lender's credit reports.
Right.
That goes into one of the questions I always get asked. Which credit score is the credit score I should be paying attention to? And I always answer the one the lender's using, because that's the one you're using to qualify.
Right.
So that's one of those mundane things where, like I said, life happens. Sometimes they made a credit card payment 2 days late, or it took a little while to post, or sometimes it got kicked back, but they had no idea. I had a realtor who was actually buying a land himself, and I won't say what office he's with, Remax. And he unfortunately paid off his B of A credit card, and he thought, okay, I'm done with it. But interest hit the following day. He had no idea. He left it that way for 5 months. The bank hit him for 5 rolling 30s. His FICO dropped super hard. So he called us up. We were actually able to get the deletion letter for B of A. The lender ran a rapid rescore, and he got all of them deleted in 11 days. So this can potentially save escrows, and I want you guys to know that. It can potentially save escrows. Now, we don't charge whether we're mailing it out or if we're providing the lender deletion letters for a rapid rescore. But keep in mind, certain lenders, it does cost them when they execute a rapid rescore. It's cost them per line per bureau. So if they have 2 accounts, those 2 accounts that they need to get the deletion letters for times 3, that's 6 rapids. That could potentially add up in cost. We don't charge for that. Some lenders will eat the cost. Some lenders will say that's a buyer inquiry fee that they have to pay. But it's just one of those things that if it's able to save you an escrow, absolutely look into any and all avenues.
And let me just throw out there, we don't charge for that, so.
Boom.
We eat that. And also, rescores can only be done within 30 days of pulling credit, just FYI.
So that goes in depth on another good question that I always get asked as well. If a lender doesn't want to pull the credit right off the bat because they're already telling you they have challenge credit, it shows it right here as well. I go through Smart Credit. It's an amazing website. You can pull all 3 bureaus as a soft inquiry for just $1. You can't even buy a cheeseburger anymore for $1 in this market, right? So, you know, the fact that you can soft pull and you can check it. Now, the scores may not be the exact same as that of a lender, but what's reporting is, which means you'll be able to see if there's a late payment, a charge off, a collection, or anything else as well. And if the client does that, they can email you or the lender the credit report. Most lenders, and I want to say most because I have come across a few that aren't, most lenders comprehend a credit report where they can look at it and tell you, well, your balances are high on here, you need to lower them down. So with that being said, any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
So what score, because there's all different scores, there's Vantage 3, there's 8, blah, blah, blah. Which one is the most prevalent one or that's used most? And I guess I get in our industry for real estate loan, for mortgage loan.
So Vantage 3.0 is actually been the most accurate scores. However, I always tell clients when they ask it again, what's the best one to base my score off of? It's the one that the loan application is going to get done through. And that's whether you're trying to buy a house, buy a car, get a new apartment, sometimes even getting a new job. They soft pull your credit to make sure you're financially stable.
And
Yeah.
I don't even know what one it is, to be honest. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're all gonna be roughly the same.
They're all gonna be ballpark same. So my goal is to help out. I did sponsor, my photographer should be arriving shortly and he will be giving headshots after the team meeting, just in case any of your headshots are from the MySpace or AOL days and it's time for an update. So with that being said, any questions at all, our consultations are always 100% free. We don't charge to give you an analysis. What that means, and I'll be with you in 1 second. What that means is if you give us a credit report saying, hey, what can we do to get the client to a 720? Because right now the rates aren't as favorable and they only qualify for a condo. But if they fix their scores up, they're not eligible for that single family that they want. Our analyses are free where we tell you what we can do, what we can't do, timeline, cost, and projected scores. And I always say what we can't do. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of companies out there who will tell you they can do it all. If they say they can do it all, be very wary. There's certain things no credit repair company can do. And I always like to be honest and open about it because I care more about planting seeds. Anything court ordered, child support, wage garnishments, divorce settlements, anything Uncle Sam has his thumb on, no one can delete it unless you pay it off. And the reason why is we can delete it today, but it'll reappear again in 30 days. And the last thing you want is prior to funding, a lender's going to repull credit. And the last thing you want is to kill a deal all entirely just because we removed it 1 month and it popped up the next. So I care more about being honest and open and letting you know if we can do something, great. If we can't do something, I don't suffer for commission rep. All right. Now my phone number, it'll be up. I'm a toddler dad. I don't know the definition of sleep. So I'm up late nights and early mornings. My 3-year-old keeps me up. So any questions you can call or text me at any point in time. Odds are I'll be up and I can help you guys out. You had a question, good sir.
Yeah, Fair Isaac weights the negative trade lines on your account at 64% for late payments on credit card bills. What's your success rate on deleting legitimate late payments?
So our success ratio right now is around 85%. I'd love to say we're 100%, but no one's 100%, right?
You legitimate late 30, 60, 90s on credit card bills, you delete.
Absolutely. We just recently had our best success story, which I'm still waiting for my Google review, which good luck with that. I have a client who had a $230,000 SBA that was charge off, that was illegitimate reporting on her credit. We got it deleted in under 2 weeks.
Legitimate.
Yes, 100% legitimately removed off. And to this day, she still has it removed off. She actually lives here in Calabasas as well. She's a heart surgeon. And I'm still waiting for my Google review, but good luck with that, right?
Do it before you complete your process.
That's probably what I should do. I should probably take some notes from the realtors. So with that being said, any questions, let me know. Yes, there's always that percentage of chance where you're not successful, but that's why, at least with us, we have a money back guarantee. Where if we can't render services, the clients gets their prorated refund because it's only a matter of repair. Yes, sir. So his question was, do we, are basically our area of coverage. We cover all of the United States, by the way. So anyone who has a social or anyone who has an ITIN that needs help, we're here to help them out. So I grew up in New York, so I grew up back east, so I'm pretty, going back and forth, pretty privy to that. So, and if you guys ever need help with even, hey, you're doing a first time buyer seminar and you're hosting it and you need someone to talk about credit and tips on how to make sure their credit's high as possible, let me know. I'm more than willing to pull up the bootstraps. I'll come here, and help out, give the clients the educated tools to help them make sure their score is as high as possible. So therefore they're getting the best rates with the lender. And that's gonna be the difference, like I said, between them barely qualifying for that condo, or maybe now they can qualify for that single family. Especially when you're pushing them to the higher loan limits of what they're eligible for. So, any other questions? Yes, sir.
How would you suggest or recommend our first-time home buyers to build credit in order to get mortgage financing?
So the first thing first is talking to the client, asking them obviously the in-depth questions. Do you have credit? And if you don't, if you guys come across a client right now, this is gonna be an easy free tip. If you have a client right now that has no credit whatsoever, what's the first thing you would recommend them do?
Open a Discover card.
Open up a Discover card. That's great. That'll give you a seed because it'll take what, 3 to 6 months for it to finally post. Anyone else?
Utility.
Call me.
And utility.
You self-reported utility bills are becoming very popular. Now that's a double-edged sword because if they've ever been late, the utility bill could be like that bitter ex that just won't let go of that grudge and dag them for it.
Underwriter, not me include that in the debt.
Why Discover? Discover's been rated #1 in customer service, and they actually open up the doors for tier 1 credit cards a lot faster than any other bank, aside from JP Morgan.
Students.
People without a social?
Citizenship.
Oh, citizenship. Do they have their ITIN? Yeah, if they don't have their ITIN or anything like that as well, the first thing is you have to establish an ITIN or social, because obviously you need something for the Fair Isaac Company Corporation to actually report to, your FICO. Now, if they don't have any credit, let's say John and Jane come in and their son needs to be added to the loan, he has no credit, ask them if they have someone who has a well-established credit card.
Co-signer.
And they can add that person as an AU, an authorized user.
Co-user, yeah.
Now, here's the thing, you don't want to add everyone to every card, and the reason why is if you add a card that, let's say, even had one negative payment, it's going to hit that one person. So when you add the bad, you're adding the good. So you want to make sure you add them to a great credit card that's lower than 10% utilization.
Yeah.
And I say 10% because the old school myth of 30% utilization is just that. They debunked it, and you actually, if you want 800 above FICO, you need it under 10% utilization, not 30.
Right.
Yeah. So a 30% gives you a C. You want an A+, you want an 800 FICO, you want to keep it under 10, preferably under 5% utilization.
And pay it off.
Pay it off. Pay it off. There's 2 dates on your credit card, when it's due and then when it posts. Pay it off before it posts. So there's your closing date and then there's your posting date. Yes, sir.
What about if you pay over? What about if you pay over what's owed, so you have a small negative, a credit balance? Does that do anything?
It doesn't help with your total utilization. It's just going to give you a credit, if that makes sense. So if you're paying everything off before your posting date, you're not going to have to worry about interest. I can tell you that.
I mean, pay more than due. So let's say you have $100 credit card bill and you're paying 105. So it gives you a statement that says you have a credit of $5.
It'll hit you the same as if you're down at zero balance. Yeah.
If you don't pay it off each month, what happens then? Is it come down as far as?
If you don't pay it off, they're hitting you with interest.
Minimum interest, minimum payment,
If you paid like the bare minimum payment,
whatever the minimum is.
let's say the bare minimum payment is $35. Does everyone know your national average credit card APR is at 27%?
Yeah, it's insane.
That's
So they're hitting you with a 35 minimum due, but they're hitting you with $70 of interest.
right.
So you're actually digging yourself like deeper than you actually think. I would recommend always paying it more than that and then paying it before that. And the old school myth of paying it every 2 weeks boost your scores is just that a myth.
That's the mortgage though.
That's the mortgage.
That's for the mortgage, but not for the credit.
For creditors, they have to pay to report, and they're only going to pay once a month, which is their legal obligation. So with that being said, guys, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I'm stick around. You guys can ask me a million and one questions. I'm pretty privy to as many things, credit, mortgage, and real estate, because I have some expertise in the background of it. I'm here to help you guys out. I'm just a tool in your tool belt. Should you ever have any questions, or I was actually talking, if you guys want me to set up a class where we can go in depth on even how to properly read a credit report, So when you guys review it, that's perfectly fine as well. Let me know and I'm here to help you guys out.
Phone number?
Yeah, my phone number,
Sorry, I don't have it up there.
I have a couple business cards with me and then I'll take some of your guys's as well. I'm still gonna be sticking around for the meeting and after the meeting as well, okay?
What is the number?
Oh, 562,
Is it?
562 area code, 637, 5057. Jose Lopez, J Lo, whatever you wanna call him. That's fine.
562 and then sorry.
637,
Yeah,
5057.
thank you.
No problem. And that's my cell phone number. Like I said, I'm toddler dad, so if you call me late hours and I answer, just be aware if you hear my daughter singing Disney songs in the
Good
background.
job, good job.
Thank you guys so much.
Yay, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, yeah, there's just so, we just have so many valuable tools and people, right, to add to our team and to be able to help our clients and, cause I say every team meeting, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right, so, piggybacking on his story, about the person just kicking that one couple or that person to the curb, hey, let me know when you're ready. No, hey, let me be part of your journey. And that's what we talked about too, in building those relationships with our sphere. Yeah, they may not be ready to buy, sell, invest right at this moment, but we're there to have the journey throughout their life. So whenever the decision does come up to do anything real estate related, you're there, right? Okay. Let's go. Where are we? All right, so again, the free headshots, they are setting up, they'll be setting up in our little lobby, not out in the lobby, but in our lobby area. And I know a lot of you have different time slots, etc. So because we had we had an amazing response to free headshots. You know how many times we've been trying to get a good turnout for headshots? Oh, I gotta pay for it? Screw that, I'm not coming. Free? Like, wow, so free and food together? Right? Okay, so our end of year schedule, obviously Veterans Day already happened, team meeting today, November 22nd, next Wednesday. I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week, guys. Yeah. I'm still in summer. Like, what? So, the Wednesday before T-Day, we're closing the office at 1 o'clock. Obviously, we're closed Thursday and Friday, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Team meeting on December 12th. We have the holiday party on December 13th. Rich will not be having, he was gonna do his class on the 13th. And I'm like, really, at 4 o'clock? I'm pretty sure no one's gonna show up, so. Including you, because you have to be at the holiday party. And then we have a staff celebration, the 2023 ALC. We have a lunch with you guys. Then December 22nd, office closed at noon, and then we're going to close the office. What's it? Christmas is
25th.
Wow. I mean, like Monday, is it a Monday or Tuesday? Monday. Yeah, so that's why we're gonna be closed on Tuesday, the 26th, and then happy 2024. We're closed that day on January 1st.
What's
So
the
anyway.
staff celebration?
I'm taking them out for lunch.
Oh, it's not the office, it's just.
Yeah, but you guys can all celebrate them as well. You just don't get.
No worries.
But we have it posted up at the front too, just so you can keep you aware. So we also have the Thanksgiving food drive. Been promoting that a little bit. So there's the box. So if you want to, I know some like Lynette and Steph Taylor and Judy Vasquez have been promoting the food drive as well to their farms, but we're supporting Manna Food Bank over in Thousand Oaks. So if you have any dry foods or anything like that for that, the last day will be this Friday. You can bring them in and then we'll have the food delivered on Monday, the 20th. And then we'll give you guys information. We're gonna do self-care for December for the holidays. So like shampoos, conditioners, that kind of stuff.
Where are you donating that?
We're gonna do it for Manna as well. Yeah. Okay, so we just want to let you know we have it and we've been setting this out, but there's an inclusion leadership sensitivity training. If anybody's ever had the great opportunity to listen to Julia Lachey. She's unbelievable. She's just really, she's from Keller Williams International. So this is actually got what do you call it? Set up through the our Larchmont office, but it's Tuesday, November 21st at 2:30 p.m. So if you guys want to check it out on Zoom, you can. And then here we have happy birthday to our November baby. So woo, happy birthday to you all. Yay. Where are we now? Oh, and then we have our anniversaries. Dang, Carrie's been here for 13 years. Lynette, you've been here a year. Congratulations. God, that flew by. And congratulations, her and Steph just had a massive closing, and it was her first listing. So congratulations. You did a great job. So who else? Let's see. Brenda, is Brenda here? Let's see. Ben Stewart, Ella, Kim, Felicia, so on and so forth. Aaron. Oh, Aaron's been a year already. Wow. Awesome. Shwana, very exciting to have you all here. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Then we have all our closings we actually had the highest unit count of closings in October. So congratulations to you all. You guys have been working your twisties off, just powering through our incredible market and year, finishing off strong. Okay, welcome to the KW Calabasas family, Jeffrey Abed, Sierra Ross. So congratulations. I know Lisa, she's actually going on the Bahamas trip, so she's trying to get everything done. But thank you to Calabasas Escrow for all that you do, and then appreciate each and every one of you for all your support. It helps and it means a lot. Obviously, and then make sure that you guys have it back to the holiday party. Make sure that you have that on your calendar, December 13th. We did a buyout of Zen Bistro. So we'll have a lot of fun with that.
Right.
Ray Rodriguez, come on down. Gonna give us a commercial update. Hola.
So, we haven't said the big news. Inflation's down. Treasuries are down. Interest rates coming down. So that's good news for commercial. It's good news for residential. So if you've had any deals that are kind of like floating on the cusp and people complaining about rate, send them right back to your loan brokers and get it requoted, because it's pretty exciting news. This could also be the mark of a new trend because of what the inflation report stated, and there's a lot of banks already putting the word out there that we think that we're going to start trending down on rates. So as far as commercial real estate is concerned, where you guys can make money and get referrals is talk to your clients about what they own, find out if they've got any fixed rate debt going variable. Remember, in commercial, it's only locked 3, 5, 7, rarely 10 years. Okay, so anybody who's going variable within the next 6 to 9 months really needs to get ahead of that right now, because they don't want the shock of what their rate adjustment's going to be. Even though rates are coming down, if somebody had fixed rate debt, 5-year fixed money at 3.5%, and they're going to adjust to 7, their cash flow typically gets white because the margins were really thin on the deals that they bought. Okay, so keep the conversation going there. If they don't know when they go variable, make sure you help them find out when that is. If they are going variable, they need to get ahead of it, because the comps that are recording right now, every comp that records in the markets we're selling commercial real estate, they're dropping. They're still coming down. Okay, so the longer they wait, the more downside they have in value. The faster they get ahead of it, the more they're going to get for the property, and when they exchange, the better buy they're going to get. So it's like a really sweet spot in the market right now to capitalize on what's happening. All right, questions? Nope.
I have a comment. If somebody doesn't know when they're gonna go variable, I would ask them, do you know what term you locked in at? Was it 3, was it 5, whatever? You can always pull a property profile and see when they got their mortgage, and then you can figure it out for them.
Right.
Put it on your calendar.
Right. I think, and one more piece is people that try to time the market, like we call them the whales in our business. They've all been calling like the last handful of months, 3 to 4 months or so. they're back in the market, they're buying. So when you follow the big money and you look at what they're doing, they're even buying cash when they didn't like where the rate was at, because they feel we're at a point in the market where, hey, maybe it's not the exact bottom, maybe it adjusts a little further before it starts to rebound, but we're in that range, right? Cap rates are really attractive from where they were before. So if there's a deal that has a lot of growth potential, value add, upside, and you're getting in at like a 5 to a 6 cap, which we're seeing nowadays, which is incredible because everybody was like 3.5 cap before this whole thing. And there's upside, you know, people are buying. We have a listing that we just listed in East LA. It's 38 units, and we priced it at a 5 cap going in, and it's a 9 cap at market, and we're getting all cash offers at 6 million. So that just goes to show you when stuff is priced right, relevant to the cost of money, it's moving, whether it be by loan or by all cash purchases. Okay.
Thank you. Hey. All right, Miss Cindy from House American Financial.
Okay, so crazy market that we're in, as we all know, but I will say that in the mortgage industry, we're pretty clever bastards. We find a way, one door closes, another window opens somewhere. So we're always looking for how we gonna make a deal work. What can we do different? So I want to tell you a couple of things that I see working and happening right now. I would definitely get in the habit of asking people if they own investment properties, because it's just like, you know, primary residences, people have investment properties that have a lot of equity in them. And if they're needing cash to buy another piece of property or whatever, they can get that cash off of the investment property. It's not a whole lot different in cost in terms of rates and stuff than their primaries, and people are less hesitant to borrow against an investment property than they are against their home. So I'm seeing opportunity there, and we do, if it's free and clear or, you know, low balance, we'll look at cash out refi. Otherwise, we'll look at doing a HELOC on an investment property for them. Of course, we do HELOCs on primaries too, but again, people, if they have a room in the investment property, they prefer to do it that. As far as purchases go, we've got our 100%, we got so many programs, my brain does this every time I get somebody to apply, especially first time home buyers. There's so many different ways I can approach it, and I try to find the path of least pain for them, because they either have so much cash to work with, or they already have a burden of debt, or, you know, whatever their situation is, I try to find a way to work around it. So some of the programs we have a 100% financing program that has no mortgage insurance. That is really great starting point. We also, that same company has brought back the $15,000 grant program, and that grant can be used to buy down the rate, and you can combine it with that 100% program. So I just priced a deal out yesterday, and it was 7%, no points, and that was going to be 100% financing. So I thought that was pretty darn good. We also have Calabasas, which does 100% financing, and they will do on a conventional, they'll do, it's a 95% first and a 5% second, but the second only accrues interest at 1%, and there's no payments. The payments are deferred until they refinance or sell property or change title. So it's like a silent second, and that definitely is helpful to get people in the door. And then we of course have standard old FHA, 3.5% down. That's my go-to when I got somebody who's just really crunched on debt ratio, because they allow the highest amount of debt of all the programs.
What's the minimum credit score for that FHA? It's like, what are you seeing? Like, a lot of people are asking me about that.
Yeah.
What's like the level?
So, the credit score that will get you pretty much any program there is 680 or above.
Okay.
If you're hurting, there are various programs that are available for people with lower credit. They're not going to be most favorably priced, of course, I try not to get into that too much in the beginning because I don't want to discourage anyone from trying. Because once I get their app in, I can now manipulate their credit, possibly rescore them or show them ways that they can improve the scores down the road or whatever. Or I can find them, okay, here's the program you can do today, if, with this credit score. Or, we pay off some debts or move some debts around or whatever, then you can possibly get this program. So, I like to guide them. What else was I gonna say?
What are the rates at the moment?
Rates, where rates are is a relative thing, but I would say that generally speaking, probably looking at about 7.5%. So, I mean, they're not. Yeah, they're not going anywhere fast. Hopefully they'll continue to come down. There's a way to do everything, and I did want to tell the story about this one deal that I just had a look at. I tried so hard to fit them into the best program possible, and what was killing us on these people is they had a lot of debt and they had very little assets. So I was able to put them into an FHA loan and get them a reasonable purchase price and get them close to qualifying as far as their assets, as close as I could get. But they were only off by about 14,000. So I figured that's a reasonable number where maybe they can find some gift funds or co-borrower or save or whatever they have to do where they're not going to be that far away. In this case, it was a condo. So when they're ready, then I would say to the agent that, okay, tell me where you're looking for these condos. So let me run the zip code on the lookup tool and tell you what's already qualified, and you can target those properties. That's going to be your easiest, have the least resistance there. But that's about it. I mean, nothing comes easy, but I'm very willing to work to get your clients wherever they need to get.
I was speaking the other day that buyers now can buy credit points.
And buy points, did you say? Yeah, that's always an option. It's a little bit hard for people who are asset challenged already to pay points to get their rates lower, but yeah, that's always an option.
You go buy down.
Yeah.
The seller will pay for it.
And buy downs are also another good, yeah. So if you're putting in an offer, I would say definitely ask the selling side if they're willing to do a buy down situation, because that does make it much more appealing to the buyer.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's better than a price reduction for the seller too.
Yeah. So. Any questions? That's all I have.
All right.
Thank you, thank you. All right. ATL moment with Philip Crispino.
I didn't have anything prepared. We talked yesterday and I said, hey, if you need anything, I'm there for you.
Oh, I thought that was a yes.
Oh, yes. All right. So I'll pull right from the ALC clinic. One of the things Gene Rivers says is he says, master the role that you're in. Right. And that's on like every page that I take a note on, every journal entry I write M or whatever the initials are, but master the role that I'm in. And it could be something as simple as being a husband, being a father, being a man, all the stuff at home that have nothing to do with the business, yet have everything to do with business, because all that we do on the outside of these walls intersect within all things that we do here, right? And one of those roles from a professional standpoint for all of us would be the CEO of our own company and being a listing agent for our own company, right? No one else will list homes for us. We need to be out there listing homes ourselves. And so take this information, whether it's on the credit repair, whether it's on the rates potentially going down, the direction of inflation. If you take out energy and consumption, it ends up being somewhere around 3% going under, right? So take this information and curate it in a way that it speaks to your people on your database, right? Like the people on my database, they're all sorts of ages and ranges, right? So if you're tagging people, maybe they're a baby boomer, maybe they're golden age, maybe they're a millennial, what part of today can you apply to that specific set? And it doesn't have to be a really cool graphic. It could be a conversation, an MOFIR, make offer for immediate response, right? So take what you're learning, take what you're training on, and convert it into action, right? Like I wrote down actual names of people who would benefit from meeting Jose, right? And then guess what's going to happen? After this is over, I've got 5 people I need to call. And then those are going to be the next 6 people I'm going to call this afternoon as I get the kids from school. And I'm going to share with them exactly what he shared, right? Like, hey, I know credit was an issue back when, fill in the blank. I met somebody today who could be a good fit. Would you mind if I start a group text with you guys? And then they can handle that conversation. So what did I just do with those 5 or 6 people? I implanted in their mind, in their world, that hey, I'm a relative resource, not just a social media dude in their world, right? I'm not just some guy they know from wherever. Hey, there's some value here. On top of that, one of the other things is just pick one thing that you can just spearhead for the next 60, 90 days. Business that we have today was generated maybe 60 days ago, 90 days ago, 30 days ago, 180 days ago. And then it's a matter of starting now, look at everyone that's ever said yes to you. And if you've been in business, like I always joke with Emilio, he's been in business 2 years. And so if all he worked was 250 days out of 365, that means he's added 1 person each day for those 250 days to his lead follow-up pipeline. So there's 500 people potentially in his database, in his cell phone, whatever he's using. I know he's using Command. So you can just go to Command, and now those 500 people, or however many's in there, and his #1 goal is to re-engage, reconnect, and assess. You know, which of these people are open to doing something before the end of the year, and who's willing to do something after the end of the year. Because by the time the year starts, we're so high on goals, and yet we're just starting in January, as opposed to, hey, it's November 14th, do a 15th protocol. If you guys are familiar with that, that was a big talk of the town at Mega Camp a couple years ago. But a 15th protocol is, hey, it's the 15th of the month. I'm going to call my core people and ask for referrals, ask for help if I haven't done so already. I'm going to reach out to my past clients. I'm going to work my allied resources. I'm going to work around my farm and SOI, and off we go. You get on a blitzkrieg, something where you do a bold 100 like Luis has done with the PC team, and you just create an artificial spring in your life. In the middle of winter, in the middle of everyone else not doing anything, we're the room that is doing something. So hopefully somewhere in there was an idea or a gem or something you can apply. And anything you guys need, just DM me, call me. I'm usually at the office almost every day of the week. Some days I'm not, but mostly I'm here. And if you guys need anything, you can call or text me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. Oh, it's listing contest announcement, winner announcement.
Oh, is it over already?
It is. So where, Alejandra? She won. She got the most listings. Okay, so we are going to make an announcement. Some of you are probably like, oh, there was a listing contest. I didn't even know.
Some of us check it every week.
So yeah, the listing contest was from September 1st to October 31st. You got 3 points for a new listing. You got 1 point for using Calabasas escrow, and then you got another point if you opened and closed a deal, whether it was a buyer deal or whatever, in that time frame. So Team A won with 90.5 points versus Team B at 71.5 points. So Team A will send out a special announcement to those, because those of you that participated, right, and contributed, you will have a little party. So it is, Jeanette Gonzalez, Justin, Team Smith, Team, what's happening? Oh, Matt, yeah, let's go there. 100%. Oh, we'll call Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Team La Familia, Maria A, Meron, Team Selig, Debbie, Luisa, Alan Rosenberg, Roger Horn, Omid Tebyani, Jeff Landau, and Ray Rodriguez. There's one for the success of Team A, and drum roll, who's the winner of the $500 for the most listings taken? Just Yay!
You better.
Can someone take a picture?
Thank you.
Here. You're welcome. Here, let's take a picture.
What am I looking at? Oh.
Right there. I don't know, someone take a picture.
I want this to show. You got it. Very nice.
Yay, congratulations, don't go anywhere. So share with the audience, with the guys and gals, what do you do every day to secure all these listings that you're taking in this crazy market that some people are like, oh, there's nobody selling?
Well, I just loaded them all up and waited until I moved. No, okay. Really, it's just, this is 10 years of working my ass off. Rejection, I mean, 10 years ago, I came in this office, I think my first deal was a short sale for 45,000 in Bakersfield. I drove there. So really, it's just keeping a database. Jamie knows I'm like crazy with my notes in Google. If you wrote an offer, I have the notes, I have everything, and just getting those relationships. So every deal is kind of broken down into 3 to 7 deals. So I can track everything in my head. Getting it on paper is a little bit more work, but yeah, it's just consistent, hard work, day in and day out. Some years are good, some years are lean, but you know, it's showing up.
Yeah.
That's really, it's just keeping consistent.
Yeah.
A little bit of farming mixed in, that's it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. So happy you are here. What?
Hot seat.
What happened? Oh, question for Justin.
I want to hear from a winner. So, what is your, out of all the actions you take today, what's your favorite one? What's your favorite sales action?
You know, Zillow was really big in the beginning. I wouldn't say do that now for a lot of people. It's just way too expensive.
Like zip code?
Zip code, it's really been Lake Balboa, Lake Balboa, Lake Balboa. So I walk into a listing in Lake Balboa now. Not that I get every single deal, but it's just like, I'm excited. I know the area, I know your floor plan before I walk in. So people can see that and feel that. And when they don't hire me, they're like, hey, listen, it wasn't because of this, it's because I got a friend. And I'm like, hey, we'll co-broke, you know, I'm okay with your cousin making a quarter point.
Right.
You know, let's figure this out. So it's really the zip code, being in my area is like what I'm more passionate about. But then it's really my first listing in Lake Balboa came from next door. And that one listing, I got a photographer. I sold that house now a second time. And it's just like that one deal turned into 12 deals. Over 10 years, or over 7.5 years.
I know that it's not necessarily relevant to next week.
Sphere. Now that I have a sphere, it's really sphere, and I probably left a ton of money on the table, just because I get that random bomb video, text, and happy birthday card 1 year. Now we've got people that kind of take care of that, so that I can kind of just focus on the big stuff. So it's really just fucking up, failing forward, figuring it out, and you know, knowing I'm never gonna be perfect.
Number for your listings, how many?
How many, let's see, go back.
Okay.
He had 14 points.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
14 points, meaning how many listings?
So then he did, so how many listings did you take? 4?
I'm not sure. You probably
And but probably had been 4, and then he had, which would give us 12 points, and then he used Calabasas escrow,
Yes.
right? And then,
Okay, so that was Hollywood deal. That was a Zillow buyer. Met him in Van Nuys, bought in Hollywood Hill. The Airbnb it, we sold it. The one in Merced, that was a client I helped Northridge from referral. Actually, that were somewhere in this space where I don't know where the room is now. Helped them buy. They referred me 2 friends. And yeah, his dad passed away, so I drove up there. Another referral said, hey, I'm selling Oakland. I was like, that's kind of far, but I'm already halfway up there. Okay, I'll go look at it. And it just went into escrow again today.
wow, congratulations, that's awesome.
That wouldn't be happening if you wasn't giving good customer service, right? So everybody, you know, you
Yeah.
really have to be on top of it, you have to be fair to your clients, and you also have to be available.
Yeah, it's do a good job for your clients, take care of them. Like Zig Ziglar says, if you focus on giving everybody what they want, you get what you want. Why not show up right away? Because I watched a lot of people blow up, and I'm like, I want to be that guy, but I'm on this phone instead. I'd say the rabbit in the hair, or the tortoise in the hair, who wins the race? Does it ever change?
No.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, really, please take away the words of wisdom from Justin and just really, it's all about being persistent and consistent on your daily activities. You know, having, and it was funny because Philip and I were talking yesterday about the basics. The basics are still always the basics. And I know a lot of you look trying to figure out what the magic pill is, or is there something special I can do to maybe speed it up a little bit, or this, that, and the other thing. It's like, no, just be consistent, persistent. And one, believe it and know that it will happen. And don't try to control. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. Don't try to control when it happens. The more you try to control the how and the when, forget about it. You will forever be waiting. So you always have to relinquish control. Just do your thing, believe, and don't worry about the when, right? Or how or where it's going to come from. Just be intentional about your activities. And you know what's kind of cool is we're actually going to get out of here on time. So like, so we'll be able to eat. So again, congratulations to Justin. All right, so we do have like I said, we have the free headshots. There's a group of us leaving tonight for Bahamas, so I'm sorry. So I'm super excited. Next year, please, would love to have each and every one of you join us to wherever our destination will be. Yep, we already chatted. What time is it? It's time to go. So remember, we have the Keller Williams School of Real Estate. If you know of anybody that's looking to get into business, Michael Lewis Marketing Suite. If you guys aren't in it, please get your